Everybody, welcome back to the Sunnydale Review. I'm Brian.
I'm Jillian.
Jillian, how you doing?
I am good. This is
You ready?
yes,
Yes.
we are talking about The Gift. So the season 5 finale today. This is also the last video we were recording in this batch of episodes. We started at 2 o'clock. It is now 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
And
so
we
not bad, honestly, for our timing. Sometimes
Not
we
at
go
all.
really late. So.
Not at all. But we moved things around for the last video that we recorded because I knew there was going to be a lot to talk about with this one. Bless you. So it's a big one.
Yes.
It's a big
Let's
one.
get into it.
All right. Season 5, episode 22, The Gift. Originally aired May 22nd, 2001. Written and directed by Joss Whedon.
Of course.
Episode opens with a previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer that goes all the way back to the first episode of season 1. We see the introductions of Buffy, Willow, Giles, Xander, Cordelia, Angel, as well as a crazy fast montage of some of the funniest, scariest, and most iconic moments from the series so far.
Yeah, so the version I have didn't have this, so I looked it up on YouTube before I recorded because I read, through your notes
Yeah.
to make sure. And I'm surprised with that introduction it didn't have a crossover of Cordelia and Angel coming back,
That's
help.
what I was thinking too, because I was
Yeah.
like, it's weird that they include Cordelia in here when she hasn't been in an episode for over 2 seasons.
Yeah. And I know this was a potential maybe the last episode of the show type thing, so maybe they just wanted to encapsulate everything. And I think they do a good job. It is a little fast. I remember I was watching it and I was like, whoa, I'm glad I don't have epilepsy because they're showing maybe a clip from every episode.
Yeah, it goes super fast. And also they it was kind of like Buffy, Willow, Giles, Xander, I get them getting their name call out introductions. They don't do one for Oz or Tara or even Anya. Yeah, so I was odd that they included Cordelia and Angel, but not, some of the core members of the current situation. But yeah, I was watching on Hulu, which they have the widescreen remasters.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
But they're better for doing screenshots for our thumbnails. I do also own all the DVDs, so I
more appreciates the screenshots though.
Yeah. At one point, I was using my DVDs, and not only was it harder to pause at certain moments, actually, but also I think trying to figure out how to take is it 4x3 and turn them into widescreen thumbnails was a little bit more difficult, but yeah. So yeah, but this montage they did have on Hulu.
Cool.
So
I just looked it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
It literally just had the clip, the previously on for The Gift.
Mm-hmm.
So that's thank you to whoever illegally uploaded that. I appreciate it.
So let's see. So we're immediately thrown after that crazy fast montage. We're immediately thrown into a tracking shot of a guy running down an alleyway. He comes to a dead end and attempts to turn back until he is confronted by a vampire. Buffy confronts them, saving the guy and throwing out some of her signature Slayer wit before slaying the vampire and saving the guy. She tells the guy who was being chased to go home. So it's she was in the magic box and kind of this planning session on Glory, but still had time to take a little bit of time out of her day to go slay a vampire who was trying to kill a guy behind the magic box. So I guess it's
And I think that goes back to this maybe being the last episode. They're like, we gotta have her kill a vampire if this is the last episode.
Probably.
It's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Back inside the magic box, we see the gang still in research mode. They keep going through the steps of the ritual. The key was living energy. It needed to be channeled, poured into a specific place at a specific time. The energy would flow into that spot. The walls between the dimensions break down. It stops. The energy is used up. The walls come back up. Glory uses that time to get back into her own dimension, not caring that all matter of hell will be unleashed on Earth in the meantime. The blood flows, the gates will open, the gates will close when it flows no more, basically when Dawn is dead.
Right.
The gang determined that they need to get to Dawn and stop everything before the ritual can begin. Buffy refuses to talk about the alternative, what needs to happen if they get there and the ritual has already begun. Giles actually stands up and gets like super mad and screams at Buffy that they need to talk about a plan if the worst should happen.
I think Buffy understands the plan if the worst happens, Giles. She just doesn't need to talk about it.
Yeah.
They're like, you have to kill your sister. Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Actually, I don't think she would.
Yeah.
Because like, Buffy challenges Giles to tell her to kill her sister, but Giles tries to remind her that Dawn is not her sister. Buffy says that Dawn is more than that. The monks made Dawn out of Buffy. It's not just the memories the monks built, but Buffy says it's like a physical connection between her and Dawn. Like, Dawn is a part of her. Giles tries to tell Buffy that if the ritual should start and they don't kill Dawn, Glory will unleash demons and evil onto the Earth that will torture and kill every living thing on Earth, including Dawn. Buffy states that if that happens, then the last thing Dawn will see is her sister protecting her, not killing her. So I don't think she'd kill Dawn.
I don't think she would.
No.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So let's see. So the gang start kind of spitballing ideas. Anya suggests a spell to turn Glory into a toad, and then they can smash her with a hammer.
Good plan. Thank you.
Yep. Xander actually suggests killing Ben if he surfaces again, which Giles thinks won't happen this close to the ritual. Willow suggests...
that is a legit good plan if presented possible.
Yeah.
It sucks, you gotta kill Ben, but also the whole world.
Yeah. Yep. I think they would have a hard time killing a human, though.
Yeah. Where's Faith when you need her?
She's in jail.
Yeah, she's rehabbing herself. She's rehabilitating herself. She's not doing that anymore.
No. Let's see. Willow suggests they track down Glory and keep her busy and distracted until the window of the ritual has passed, which is actually a pretty good idea. Okay, this is the part of this that stuck out for me. Amazingly, Anya actually has a freaking brilliant idea to utilize the Dagon sphere from earlier this season. She thinks it might drive Glory away or hurt her. Anya also brings up the idea of using the troll hammer because to defeat a god, use the weapon of a god. To which I'm like, are trolls gods?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I mean, this isn't Thor's hammer. It's a troll's hammer. Maybe it's meant to be Thor's hammer, but they just couldn't say that because of, like, licensing rights or something? I don't know.
Maybe.
But Spike says the hammer's too heavy to pick up, but Buffy picks it up with no problem. A little bit of a callback to, was it Blood Ties? When he breaks into the magic box with Dawn, and he's like, ooh, troll hammer, picks it up, and then immediately just, like, falls over with it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah, so yeah, that was, I gotta give Anya props for that one. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Xander, in awe of Anya's brilliant idea, says smart chicks are so hot. Willow turns to him and says, you couldn't have figured that out in 10th grade. I think there's a part of Willow that still, like, wants Xander to notice her.
Yeah.
So let's see. Catching up with Ben and Dawn, Ben brings Dawn clothes that she needs to wear for the ritual. Ben tries to comfort Dawn, but it's undercut by Glory's minions. Dawn tells Ben to change back into Glory because she can't stand to look at him since he betrayed her and is allowing her to be killed. She does that really annoying shrieking thing, and Ben turns into Glory. Glory comes out to play, telling Dawn that the reason Buffy hasn't shown up might be because she knows that the faster Dawn dies, the better it will be for humanity, and that if Buffy shows up, it might not be to save Dawn. So, I think at one point Dawn's like, because what was it? Glory asks Dawn, like, "What's your problem with old Ben?" And Dawn's like, "He's evil. At least you're upfront about it." But yeah. Back at the magic box, Buffy is taking out some frustration on a punching bag in the training room. Their plan is to wait as long as possible because if they show up too early, it gives Glory more time to defeat them, and then there's no one left to make her miss her window of opportunity. Giles and Buffy have a heart-to-heart. Giles says that he loves Dawn, but he's sworn to protect the world, and sometimes that means doing what other people can't or shouldn't have to. Buffy tells Giles that if he tries to hurt Dawn, he knows that she will try to stop him.
Oh, man.
Buffy asks Giles what number apocalypse this is for them. He says 6 at least. Buffy says that she's always stopped them, always won. She sacrificed Angel to save the world because she knew it was right. But this is different. She doesn't know how to live in a world anymore if these are the choices, and doesn't see the point of living in the world anymore if everything she loves gets stripped away. Buffy leaves the conversation saying that if Dawn dies, she's quitting. Which, I mean, it's kind of ambiguous as far as, like, is she just quitting being a slayer, or is she gonna, like, quit life?
Yeah.
But yeah, so back with Glory and Dawn, we see Glory dressed in her dress for the ritual. Glory's crazy victims have built a massive tower, and Glory's minions start wrestling her up the stairs to the top. Not great.
No.
Back at the magic box, Anya and Xander are looking through the basement storage area for the Dagon Sphere. They apparently got distracted and decided to have sex in the middle of looking to make themselves feel better. We catch up with them after, where Anya says that while she had a good time, it didn't stop her from being terrified. They uncovered the Buffy bot, which is still deactivated. Anya has a breakdown saying that normally when something bad is going to happen, she just runs away, but she loves Xander so much that she stayed, and now she's just terrified that something will happen to him or her. And says she doesn't think that she could be more nervous than she is right now. Xander asks her if she wants to wager on that and pulls out a ring. He asks Anya if she... Sorry, I just saw your reaction.
Yeah, just so funny.
So Xander asks Anya if she wants to marry him, then Anya slaps him. She's mad that he's proposing to her because they're going to die. He says that he's proposing because the world is not going to end and they're going to get through this and they're going to live a long and silly life together. Anya says that she will marry Xander but tells him to give her the ring after the world doesn't end. Back upstairs, Buffy tells Willow that she's her big gun, but Willow says that someone else should be the big gun. Buffy tells Willow that she's the strongest one there. She's the only Scooby who's managed to hurt Glory at all, and she is her best chance of getting Glory on the ropes. Willow admits that she has one idea, but if they can get close enough to Glory, she might be able to restore Tara, which might hurt Glory or make all their heads explode. One or the other.
You know, it is what it is.
Xander and Anya have found the Dagon Sphere and come up with another plan, but we don't get to exactly hear what that, or we don't actually get to hear what that plan is. Buffy heads out to go get weapons, taking Spike with her. At Buffy's house, Buffy asks Spike to grab the weapons in the living room, but Spike reminds her that he's not invited in anymore. He says that she can just hand the weapons over the threshold, but she invites him in, restoring his access to the house. Once inside, Buffy tells Spike that they're not all going to make it. Spike says he always knew he'd go down fighting, but Buffy talks him into protecting Dawn. He tells her that he'll do that until the end of the world, even if that happens to be that night. Spike tells Buffy that he knows that she never loved him, that he's a monster, but she treats him like a man. He can't finish the statement, but it's clearly a thank you. Ugh.
Redemption arc for Spike.
Yes. Back at the junkyard, we see Glory's minions tie Dawn at the top of the tower, saying Glory will come up to her soon. Back from their weapon collecting trip, Buffy and Spike rejoin the Scoobies. Willow goes to Tara, asking her if there's somewhere she's supposed to be. She reminds Tara that it's a big day and asks her if she wants to go. They follow Tara through the town. Since she's one of Glory's victims, she's being drawn to the place where the tower is being built. The team arrive at the tower. They tell Willow she's up. Willow gets Tara and Glory within arm's reach, and Willow puts her fingers in each of their heads. They all fly apart. Glory's minions rush to her side, where she says that she's fine, but Willow made a little hole, and she needs a brain to suck. Her eyes land on Buffy, and says that she could always use the Slayer's brain. Buffy tells her to come and get it.
Yeah, it's a really great shot, too,
of
Buffy that they use, I think, for the rest of the series in the intro. There's like a cool tilted zoom up to her.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. Glory orders her minions to go guard the girl, and she's clearly having a hard time putting sentences together. The minions group a bunch of the crazy workers around a very obvious staircase to the top of the tower. So basically trying to make like a human shield out of all the crazy people. Right. Glory's clearly struggling to put sentences and thoughts together, blaming Willow for her issues. Buffy says it's not Willow, but it might be the Dagon sphere that she's been holding. She says that it's supposed to repel Glory, so she probably shouldn't touch it, and then Buffy throws the Dagon sphere at Glory, who catches it. It pulsates in her hand for a moment, and then Glory crushes it, but it does distract her for a moment, allowing Buffy to land a good blow right to the face. While Buffy and Glory are fighting, the rest of the gang focus on the minions and trying to clear a path to the stairs. Willow makes her way to Tara, who is clearly restored and no longer crazy. Glory starts to feel better and lands a solid punch on Buffy, knocking her head off, except that it wasn't Buffy. It was the Buffy bot.
Oh, man.
Glory turns around and said, "Did everyone else know the Slayer was a robot?" Then the real Buffy, with the troll hammer, shows up behind her.
This is
Yeah.
In my head, this part.
So she calls out her name and clocks her in the head with the hammer. This sends Glory flying and gets Dawn's attention, who starts calling out to Buffy to tell her where she is at the top of the tower. Buffy takes off up the stairs, knocking over one of the minions who is and starts booking it up to Dawn. Glory goes after her, climbing on the outside of the tower and catching up with Buffy. They continue to fight their way up the tower with some very impressive stunt work. I think they got some gymnasts in for this one because it was impressive. Yeah. At one point, they both fall off the tower, and Buffy pushes Glory in the way of a wrecking ball, expertly driven by Xander.
Perfect.
Buffy is back to beating up Glory with the troll hammer, and Giles says that there's only a few minutes left until the window to start the ritual closes, so Buffy just needs to keep Glory distracted for a little bit longer. At the top of the tower with Dawn, the demon that had tried to help Dawn bring her mom back and that we saw earlier in the last episode appears at the top of the tower with Dawn. Dawn begs him to help her, but he says that Glory's running late, but clearly intends to start the bloodletting himself.
This fucking guy.
Not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
Someone cut his head off. Just stabbed him.
Seriously. Down below the tower, Giles says that no one from their team has managed to get up to the tower, up the tower to Dawn, but says that no one from the enemy's side has either. Giles, Xander, Anya, and Spike realize they need to formulate a plan, but we hear Willow's slightly altered voice asking Spike if he can hear her. She starts speaking to him telepathically, asking if there's someone up there with Dawn. He confirms there's someone else at the top of the tower, so she tells him to go now. And Willow and Tara use their combined witch powers to push the human barrier down so Spike can get up the stairs and up to Dawn. Spike starts booking it up the stairs and reaches the top just as that demon is about to start cutting Dawn. Spike confronts the demon, but just as he is about to take him down, the demon gets the upper hand and stabs Spike with a knife. The two continue to fight, but the demon throws Spike off the tower.
It's a good effort.
It
on
was.
Spike's part.
It was. Back with Buffy and Glory, Buffy beats Glory to like an inch of death. With the troll hammer, she transforms into Ben. Buffy tells Ben to tell Glory that it's over, and if Ben or Glory ever go near Dawn again, but Ben says that they won't, and before she even needs to finish the threat. Buffy rushes to get to Dawn, and Giles comes in. Giles says that Buffy knows that Glory will eventually come after Dawn, but she couldn't bring herself to take a human life. Giles then does what Buffy couldn't and suffocates Ben to kill him.
Poor Ben. Caught up in this.
Yeah.
You know.
He could have chosen differently, though.
Yeah. Just no good choices for Ben.
Well, he could have killed himself and saved the world and Dawn.
Yeah, but then he'd be dead.
Yeah, raise of hands for anybody who would be sad if Ben died.
I'm sure Ben would be sad if Ben died.
No, he'd be dead.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, suicide is never the answer.
No.
Back up at the top of the tower, the demon starts cutting Dawn, making shallow cuts to make the bleeding last longer. Buffy throws the demon off the tower, but it's too late. The portal has opened and chaos starts. Lightning bolts start emitting from the portal, causing destruction, while demons start appearing. Anya pushes Xander out of the way before a ton of bricks falls on top of her. Up on the tower, Dawn tells Buffy that she's sorry before attempting to jump off the tower into the portal to try to close it. Buffy tells her that doing that would kill her, and Dawn says that she knows. And she knows the ritual and needs to stop it. Dawn tells Buffy that she needs to let her go, and she knows that she needs to let her go. Buffy realizes through a series of flashbacks from the season that she and Dawn share the same blood. They have the same blood. The monks made Dawn out of her, and that death is her gift. So she kind of starts putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. Mm-hmm. Dawn realizes what Buffy is thinking, and Dawn tells her no. She tells Dawn something inaudible to the audience, then turns, runs, and jumps off the tower into the portal. As we see Buffy in the portal dying, we hear what she had just said to Dawn. She said, "I love you. I will always love you. This is work that I have to do. Tell Giles that I figured it out and I'm okay. Give my love to my friends. You have to take care of them now. You have to take care of each other. You have to be strong, Dawn. The hardest thing in this world is to live in it. Be brave, live for me." Oh.
Okay.
No.
Understandable.
So oh my goodness, I broke down watching this episode the other day. So we hear this while we see the reactions from all the other Scoobies. They crowd around Buffy's dead body as it lays at the bottom of the tower. Their reactions are of complete and utter shock, horror, and sorrow.
Yeah, the one that really gets me is like Spike just completely collapses.
Yeah.
You know, like he's walking up and when he realizes that she's dead, he just falls.
Yeah. The episode ends with seeing Buffy's grave sometimes later. It's been long enough that grass has grown over it. We get to read her grave marker. It reads, Buffy Ann Summers, 1981 to 2001. Beloved sister, devoted friend. She saved the world a lot.
I know. I love the a lot at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's so good. So appropriate for Buffy and just so badass. And I think if this had been the end, it would still be like a pretty great series and people would remember it very fondly.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
There's still a ton of great stuff in the next 2 seasons.
So, from what I read online, based off of an interview that Joss Whedon did in 2001, basically his plan was always to have it be 7 seasons. So let's see. Oh, so the Buffy season 5 finale was kind of supposed to be the end of the series, or at least Joss feared that it would be because the show hadn't been renewed for a 6th season yet. Basically, after season 2, they signed a 3-year contract. Right. So that contract was going to be over at the end of season 5. Dawn's introduction and Buffy's death at the end of season 5 was foreshadowed as far back as season 3, with the Faith and Buffy sharing a mind thing that happened. The clock in the scene has the number of days until Buffy's death. Faith mentions Little Miss Muffet counting down to 730, also the number of days until Buffy's death. And Faith says that Buffy needs to get back for little sis. So season 5 was meant to be kind of the end of the contract, and Joss wanted a higher production budget per episode, which the WB was unwilling to give him. UPN decided to pick up the show and increase the production budget, and that's why they swapped over to a different network. And that's why they finished out the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, so thank you, UPN, for coming in, keeping it, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, this was an incredible episode. 10 out of 10 for me. I don't know. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. It's heartbreaking. It's jam-packed. I mean, this is what a season finale should be. Not necessarily your main character dying, but it's closure, but not closure. Like you still want more, but also like if it needed to be the end, it could have been the end. But yeah, they did a great job with this one.
Yeah, it just shows like Buffy, willing to do whatever it takes.
Yes.
And made the ultimate sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it for season 5.
Wow.
I know. On to Angel season 2 now.
Yeah. So this is actually our 55th episode.
Woo.
Like, that is crazy.
I know. It's insane.
But so good.
It is. All right. Anything you want to add before we head on out of here?
If you want to hit me up on Twitter, you can. I'm at Jillian_Swan. That's Swan with 2 N's. It may take 3 to 5 business months or 3 to 10 business months for me to reply to you if my current track record says anything. But I did have a lot of fun responding to somebody in the comments of one of our last videos. So if you want to hit me up in the comments, feel free, and I'll try my best to reply back to you.
Yeah, please do that. You can follow me on Twitter at TheFakeBMar. That's BMARR. Also on Instagram at SuperMarbro. Channel is on Twitter at WGEverything, on Instagram at WickedGoodEverything, on Twitch at twitch.tv/WickedGoodEverything. The main channel where we do sketches and rant videos and gaming videos is Wicked Good Everything, youtube.com/WickedGoodEverything. Remember to tell your friends and your enemies about the Sunnydale Review, and we will see you in the next one. The Sunnydale Review is a Wicked Good Everything production. Fan art of Buffy was created by Fishbone Art. The logo was created by Tamar Kutab. The original intro and outro song was created by Alex Carl.